Hi, my name is Laura Bunso, and I am here on behalf of Smart Body Physical Therapy. I started this company about 15 years ago to serve women and men with pelvic health issues. I have with me today one of my favorite patients who suffered for a very long time. This is Kendra Grim. She is a physician. She is incredibly smart, fit, and all the boxes are checked for being able to feel good and take really good care of herself. However, she gave birth to a beautiful baby boy and suffered for several years, and I'm going to let her share with us today a little bit of her story.
Well, we are new to the Jacksonville area, and I didn't know that you were here. We had moved from Minnesota, and I was immediately impressed the first day I met you because you told me I'll get better. You said I want to see you two times a week. We're going to work on this. We're going to improve your quality of life, and that really meant a lot to me.
So how long were you hurting before you landed here?
This was 4.5 years. My son's 5 now, and so I was, like you said, very fit, very active. I traveled all over the world. I had an academic career that I just loved, and then I had a traumatic delivery and wasn't able to do all the things I used to enjoy, and then I wasn't even able to, I had a hard time getting dressed in the morning. I would have to take breaks and sit and lay down to get dressed in the morning.
But give us an idea of what your experience was, and then what you ended up with and what you were suffering with for that 4.5 years.
Yeah, I was very active. I loved to hike, I loved to snorkel, I loved to travel. I kind of took for granted that I was able to do pretty much anything physically I wanted to do. And then my pregnancy was really unremarkable. I worked up until the day before I delivered, and it really wasn't until the very end stages of my labor that we realized something was really going wrong. And my son had a big deceleration, and they whisked me back for an emergency C-section. Only, I still get emotional about it. They couldn't get him out. Even with the C-section, couldn't get him out. And he came out blue and not breathing. And it was the scariest moment of my life to be.
Yeah. To
know he's being resuscitated on the back table. But he did great. They did a wonderful job resuscitating him. And he's very healthy.
Yay.
Yeah.
So then how was Mama afterwards?
You know, I knew with a bad delivery I was going to hurt more, so I didn't really think much of it until I couldn't wean off my narcotics after the C-section. And I knew something wasn't right. But it wasn't until about 3 months after delivery that we finally got the x-ray that showed my tailbone had been broken. And I really didn't know much about pelvic floor. I just went after the tailbone because I knew coccydynia is a tough problem to treat, and went to physical therapy, and I tried moderating everything, but I was in worse shape than what I wanted to admit, because I wanted to go back to work. But like I said, I had trouble getting dressed. I had a lot of trouble caring for my son. I couldn't do laundry. There was so much I couldn't go for a walk. It was really humbling to be so sedentary.
And this continued for a long time. For years, really. And I remember when you came to me, you couldn't really sit down. I mean, you were really in bad shape, not exercising. What other kinds of things were you experiencing that some people might have after giving birth with, that maybe you were fine before you gave birth,
Yeah.
So.
I mean, intercourse is a big one. I'm married, and thankfully still married. He stuck with me, because it's hard on a marriage not to be able to be intimate.
It's very hard.
And then, the urinary incontinence, flash incontinence, incontinence of stool is very embarrassing.
Yeah.
So that was a really hard symptom.
Yeah, there's not much worse than having to deal with that. So when you came to me, the tailbone pain, you couldn't sit down. Leakage of a couple of body fluids, urine and stool, and then it hurt to have sex, basically. So I don't know, I don't think there's a whole lot more important than peeing, pooping, and having sex, but
Yeah.
So, well, I'm glad you came in. I'm so honored to have been able to help you, and I'd love for you to give a report of how you're doing now.
I'm doing much better. So I feel like when I do everything and I'm maintained, and my life is so much improved.
And you're sitting here talking to me
now. I'm sitting without my cushion.
And how far are you walking now? You go for a walk?
I can walk 2 miles.
Yeah. Awesome. But I'm so thankful to you being willing and having the courage to share your story with the world, because there's so many of you out there that are hurting and suffering. These are things that people don't have to suffer with. There's help for it. and that even if your doctor doesn't refer you to a physical therapist, you can use, most states you're allowed to just go to physical therapy without having to get a referral. So you can check, you can just call a physical therapy clinic that's nearby, ask if they have a pelvic health therapist, and if you can just self-refer, which means you just make an appointment. You don't have to go to the doctor first. So thank you, Kendra, for
Thank you
being
for
here.
all your help. You've been
Appreciate
such a help to me, improved my life so much.